Today I have the honor and pleasure to have the wonderful Jan Jorgensen with me, and she very kindly has agreed to have a Galactic Origins consultation in astrology with me. So I am so honored and so delighted to welcome you here on the call.
So beautiful to be here, Anouk. Thank you for asking me to be a part of your new platform of the readings. I'm so excited.
Yes, I'm excited too because, as we were mentioning earlier, you've known me for a while, and well, in fact, we met in France, right? We met in France in the car park.
Yes, we did, and it was instant recognition of a soul sister. And at that time, you were a sound healer. And I have just seen the many spokes of Anouk, imaginative leader of a beautiful spiritual community of immense depth. And the tours that you lead are just, they're just extraordinary. And now I have so many clients that often say, well, where am I from out there, Jan? You say I'm a visitor here. And I say, Anouk can show you. So when you reached out to give me an astrology reading, which will be beyond the beyond, because I looked at the chart you sent me, and there's this chart with all these constellations, and there's me rotating through, and my heart just said, oh, this is exactly what I need. So I'm so thrilled to be here today. Thank you for asking me.
Oh, thank you. That's absolutely my honor to be here. And it's yes, I started doing astrology for a long. I've been studying. I've been a scholar of astrology for a very long time, and I am completely self-taught over the years. It's a passion that began when I was a child, and I used to be able to feel, like I used to sit on the roof of my house and I could feel the stars on my skin. Somehow the light of the stars, I could feel it. And then I would sing, because I know you're a singer too. I would sing in my mind, I was singing with the stars, but the voice that was coming out was in relationship to what I was feeling in my skin. So it was years later, that I understood about resonance and about frequency and about sound and about the power of our voice. And it was a long way out from that point that I started looking at fixed stars astrology, and I was fascinated at how the stars were influencing the planets. And astrology is called astro means stars, and yet Western astrology is so considering the planets and not so much the stars and the constellations. So I started doing fixed stars astrology. I began with Bohemian stars and then went into, all of the stars, all constellations. And as you know, I was doing past life regressions, which I call soul journeys. And I started realizing I was getting so many, I would call them starseed, that were telling me of their future lives or where they were coming from and what it was like and how they had to leave to come and assist humanity. So I started to look at their chart for fixed stars and see if there was a correlation with, their planet of origin or their star of origin. And then I just kept going further out, just naturally, into the other constellations. And then, yes, I met a wonderful lady in Ireland. Well, we didn't actually meet in the physical, but she's written a book, and the book is called A Gift from the Stars. Her name is Elena Danand. And she gifted me the book. By then I was already doing the astrology with the stars. But I had not that much information from the star cultures and the different star beings that are influencing Earth and assisting Earth. So that was kind of like, a yay from the universe, go ahead, do this. And yeah, so here we are. And yeah.
Anouk, as you describe this, you state it as if it's just a natural thing to do. Do you understand the stupendous, profound nature of your ability to hold the entire star system in your body, to understand it and track it, and then interpret it for other awakening humans? This is I'm just amazed hearing you describe it so beautifully, and you're so eloquent on top of this. So this is perfect timing for you to launch this, and I can't wait to see what you see for myself. I'm really excited.
Thank you. And thank you for all the wonderful expressions of me that you see. Thank you. I knew you as a sister, so likewise, my dear, you're
Yes.
a gift to us all.
Yes, it's nice to be seen, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So let's begin. What is Galactic Origins all about, right? So I will share screen and explain a little bit. Oh, I forgot to open the screen, so I just have to do this. Okay. So here is the chart. Oh. Okay. Here's the chart that I sent you. And so this is the best that we can do, on a screen. But if you could imagine the solar system, this is the solar system with the 12 constellations. So the outer rim or ring, it's the 12 constellations where the sun in its ecliptical movement passes through over the period of the year. So this is why we follow, we follow the houses, we follow the constellations because of the sun, because of our solar system. So the inner wheel here is the Earth. And all of the totality of what we are seeing and talking about is a snapshot of the moment on the day of your birth. So it's literally, if we could stand in the Earth and if we could have 360-degree view of our solar system, if that was possible, that's where we would see all of the planets all, around us. So it is a dance of the planets and the stars inviting you and welcoming you to Earth on the moment that you first took your breath. And this line across is the literally the horizon on that day. It's the sunrise to the sunset. And here is the sun. So the sun had already set at the moment of your birth, so it's below the horizon. And of course, is Sun in Aries. And your ascendant is the moment of the sunrise on that day, so it's in Scorpio. And all of these symbols just within the inner wheel, just the symbols are planets. However, the words are the stars. And as I said before, the outer rim here are the constellations. But to get this reading of the stars, we as galactic astrologers have to go out into the galaxy. So we're going out of the solar system and into all the other constellations in the habitable zone. So it's a region of our galaxy which is deemed good for living, good for life. So there is potential for human life within adaptations within the area of our galaxy. And these lines, the inside lines, which are mostly reds and blues, are aspects, and known as aspects in astrology. And so we'll talk about the aspects. And I like to put all of the aspects in because it also gives me the sacred geometry. Like if you could imagine, you know, the sacred geometry of what all of those communications within stars and planets are doing, so that it's keeping the perfect harmonics of your timeline, your memory to come be your fullness on the planet. And the other part that I've sent you is actually the I also look at it from the point of view of the sun. And so here we have, if we could imagine that we're now from the point of view of the sun, so we're in the center of our solar system on our star, if we could do that, that's looking at Earth from the point of view of the sun. So Earth is now here. And of course, the moon, we know this is the moon. And moon and Earth are always together because obviously the Earth is a satellite. And so this is always for me a double check, and I'll explain this in a minute as to why I do that. And this is a star seed report with many words and numbers and many colors. So the most important thing here to begin with is the color coding, because for you personally, one very strong alignment is knowing that you are coming from beyond this galaxy. So you are a very ancient soul, a very master soul, and you would have come through the Ring Nebula, the M57, Messier 57, on the Lyran zone, which is Lyra as we know it, in service to all of life's potential in this galaxy, not only planet Earth. And so when I'm looking at your Lyran alignments, one of the very important alignments I look for is the outer planet. So this is very ancient connections coming in, and this is Uranus. And so as I was talking about the color coding, it's this kind of light gray. And so you can see that there is, you know, quite a lot of Lyran connections within your chart. And as you can see, there's lots of other colors. So this is telling me that you are, as I call it, a galactic traveler, and you have been in many different star systems, and you would be certainly as a very as a master soul or a highly evolved, coming from a highly evolved culture as a master soul, you would have come with gifts, you would have come with teachings, you would have come with wisdom and, you know, perhaps some technology and advice on how to sustain our life forms on this, in this galaxy. And as you know, Lyrans are the seeders of they are the masters of the human body. So they have the skills and the capabilities to have created this technology that we inhabit as a soul. And so very much for you, because as I said, there's lots of colors and words and numbers. And I'm looking at the degrees. And so here is 0 degrees, 18 minutes. That means it's a very, very close, tight connection, that your soul is so strongly resonant with this part of the galaxy and beyond. It has an imprinting of that location to the point of, being so tight in alignment as being just 18 minutes, which is super, super close. So this is just for you to see that I'm looking at constellations, and then I'm looking at stars, and then I'm looking at alignments with your own natal chart, planets, and then I'm looking at a degree that is very, very tight. And this system, so the system previously with the round and all of the alignments is created by astro.com. And this particular report is known as the Starseed Astrology and is created by Julia Balaz. She went ahead and had the possibilities to create a software that would put all of this in a format that we can already pick up in writing. So before that, I was literally hand drawing the chart and then looking at, that you can find this online, looking at all of the stars and all of the degrees. So for example, here, your Saturn is in Scorpio at 7 degrees 24. And so I would go at 24 degrees of Scorpio and find, at 7 degrees of Scorpio and see if there was anything that aligned to your Saturn, where now this is a little bit easier. So it's important to mention the work of others. So going back to your chart, any questions so far?
No, it's fabulous. And the sun part, it made me think of a thought that I sailed onto Earth. It looks like a sailboat. And then sometime I'll sail off into the sunset.
That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful image. Mm-hmm.
That's a really beautiful image. So as I was saying, your soul comes in, the essence of you comes in, and you're coming through the Lyran system. You would have had timelines in the Lyran system, probably teaching, sharing, on mission with them. And at some point, there is a very strong alignment to Arcturus, which are the very highly evolved beings in our galaxy. They are one of the most benevolent in service to humanity through healing of trauma of family, healings through relationships, through if there was a word for love that isn't what we think we know, that would be it. That would be the Arcturians offering their frequency. And so for you, now I'm looking still from the point of view of the sun, still very close to obviously your Earth, but this enormous connection to Neptune. And Neptune, let me go back to the other chart because it will be better to explain. So, Neptune, over here. So remember, this is the point of the sunrise, and you come in with resonance, like they are your people and they're assisting you in the navigating in. Arcturus conjunct to Neptune, the dream of the divine, like if we could have had a glimpse of what the divine dream is for beyond what we know, but let's say for planet Earth for now, then you would have had a glimpse of that, and you would have the frequency, attunement, and it's part of you, the Arcturians, energy is part of you, and you would have then brought that in and look at this beautiful line that goes across to your sun. So as you were saying, you came in like a song, and you're going to do your dance, but you're already coming with so much benevolence and love, and being in service as a healer to humanity. And of course, I know that you are a sound healer. You're a master of sound, and you are doing a lot of work with the voice and the resonance of the voice. And so this is all, in alignment with your soul. So you came in knowing that you had a mission, and the mission was healing, bringing the divine dream forward. So from the future forward, but also a completion, because it's here on the last house, it's the 12th house, and bringing it so much into the here now, into the physicality, as your sun is in Aries, is so much about forward thinking, spearheading, being the forerunner of this change, this evolutionary time. So thank you for coming to planet Earth, and for gifting us with your presence here, and your wisdom, and your teachings.
Well, this touches me to my heart, and I did take some notes. Is this a good time to share my thoughts?
Sure.
Okay. I love how this is the first time I've had such a global expression of my astrological charts and how it fits into the bigger picture and my true purpose in feminine terms. The words that you said, I was welcome to Earth. Well, I have to tell you, my mom's water broke, and I didn't want to be born. I didn't come out for another week because you put your finger on it. I'm definitely not from around here. I'm a visitor. I signed up to come with the team to assist and support. It's fascinating you say I have a lot of Neptunium because that's about dreaming. That's about seeing new realities, and the Arcturian part is the vibrational part to actually bring it in through the body. So this is such an expanded reading to my sense of my purpose, who I really am in the bigger picture, and nobody has ever brought this to me in an astrological reading before, and of course it would be you, Anouk. I love how the scientific program is supporting your intuitive truth, and this is how I see the world working. The masculine mental is now supporting and showing in logical ways what you already knew and experienced, and now can share with me in a more credible way. Here's the graphs. So it's the whole picture. And you really nailed that. I have come to know that I am a galactic way station for information and frequencies for humans on Earth. So when you said that, I mean, I've got this list and I'm going, check, check, check. I am a galactic cowgirl looking for the other galactic cowgirls and say, girls, let's get our lasso, let's get these frequencies, and let's get Earth back on track. So you just nailed it. It's a total confirmation. And you know what? So much of what we do and think and experience in our spiritual realms isn't really seen or made real by the rest of the world. So your reading is like, ta-da! Yes, because there's days and times where we get tired, and only our faith and remembering how we can touch the stars and know this. So we need to come together. And anyone who's listening to this, You need Anouk. You need Anouk to help you remember who you are, wherever you're at. If you're on the saddle, if you're trying to catch up with the horse of your mission. In her, she's just so gentle and just so loving. Anything you would say is digestible to me. And of course, that's the epitome of the divine feminine, helping people love themselves and be in their purpose. So this, and you did it also concisely. I mean, you didn't go through every tiny detail. Everything was important and right on. And I can't help but think that you really zeroed in, and you said my purpose so clearly is to bring heaven to earth. You said that I have a glimpse of what heaven is. People can't experience and bring forth and emerge into a vibration they don't know.
Yeah.
And so we who can feel and see, it's almost like we're the Pied Piper or the Music Man in that movie of, we can do this. Yes, there is a heaven. There is the vibration. And so thank you for helping me. Confirmed 4754, this body, it did see heaven, is attempting in every way possible to bring it here with people like you. And we need each other. I needed this reading.
For sure.
I needed this
It's not
reading
finished.
today.
It's not finished. There's a lot more, but I know that we may run out of time. But just letting you know, like this is
Oh, there's
my
more?
trajectory. Yes.
Oh, I thought we were in the summary phase. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Well, we may not be able to cover it all. As I said, I have many charts here written up, but the next very important alignment. So we have, as we described, we also have Andromeda, and your Andromeda is in conjunction to your Saturn in the first house. So you come in with this great knowing of a great responsibility to be in service, to do your best, to finish the mission. You know there is on some level a need, a deep desire from your soul to come and be the teacher and be the leader and be the Jan, be the Jan on planet Earth. So the connection to Andromeda is very close. It's 0 degrees 30 minutes, and it's particularly close to a star called Titowin. And Titowin is actually a binary star system. So there are planets and planetoids within that, although we know it as just being a star. And within that star live another highly evolved frequency humans, or humanoid humans, who are also part of the Lyran system, but they have, they have been for a very long time, I don't know how long, been living on Titowin. And so according to Elena Danan's book, she calls them the Zene, and either way, they're known as the blue people, and they would have been originally from Vega. So the Lyran system, the man system, that would have been particularly from Vega. That's where they get their blue skin, and it feels very much that they are the connection to ancient India, so the wisdom keepers of India. So your soul carries the frequency of this ancient knowledge to, Ayurveda and yes, everything that is part of that. It's obviously to us now, when we're looking at ancient cultures, ancient India is a modern culture in comparison, but all of that wisdom is imprinted within you. So you arrive with your frequency sequence attuned to Andromedans, and also they are the warriors, the peacekeepers of, warrior sounds like war, but they're the peacekeepers of our galaxy. They are the ones assisting the peace agreements and making sure that the peace agreements happen throughout the galaxy as well as planet Earth. And so as Andromedans and Andromedans ambassadors, of which you are, then you would take your responsibility very seriously, because you have you have this sacred responsibility to play your part, to finish what you started. And then the very important next connection to your soul is in Orion. And there are 3 particular stars that are very connected to your soul. And this is Al-Nilam, which is in the Orion belt. It's the center star, I think. Al-Nilam and Mesa, and they both are part of, yet again, another very evolved culture in our solar system. And they are, again, a very ancient race of benevolent extraterrestrials who are part of an alliance which is called the Council of Five. So there are many alliances and many words out there. So I don't want to say what they might be because there's so much out there. So I'll just say that it's a coming together, and this particular one is known as the Council of Five, and they are purely coming together for peace, and just like the Andromedans. So we start seeing the theme. There is a theme to your life, which is justice and honoring of truth, and really making sure, standing at the door and making sure that whatever may have gone wrong before won't happen again in this timeline. So again, thank you for that. You carry immense wisdom and immense support from your allies in the stars, but also you are them. So you are our ally on planet Earth. So thank you. And this particular stars, including Betelgeuse or Betelgeuse, and Mesa and Al-Nilam are very connected to, as I said, the high level culture known as Eggaroth, and is conjunct your Jupiter and Moon in your 8th house. So the house that you are bringing in knowledge and information. The 8th house is also the house of inheritance, and in Galactic Astrology, I like to imagine that you have brought this with you as from the ancestors from the stars. You're bringing it to then bestow onto the descendants of Earth. And Betelgeuse is connected to the star beings which are known as the Cat-eye, and they're the bird people. And that always fascinates me because I love that book by Ken Carey. I don't know if you read it, The Return of the Bird Tribes. And reading that book touched me so much. So whenever I see someone that has a strong connection to this star, you may have a very strong connection to the bird people. And the connection to Betelgeuse is 0 degrees 10 minutes. It's very, very close connection. And that conjunction with Mars in your 2nd house of knowing your worth, it makes me think. Let me just go back, show you again your chart. So your Mars here conjunct to, so I'm going to open this up a little bit. So if nothing else, looking at how busy this line is from Mars, and of course there's Galactic Center, which I'll talk about in a second, but all the connection here to Betelgeuse, Polaris, Mesa, Anilam, Mintaka also is one of the stars in the Orion's belt. This is one of the stars where the subversive races, the reptilian races, are based. So on some level, your soul remembers what went wrong, and the wars, the galactic wars, the Star Wars. So a deep resonance there to be the protector, to be the warrior that doesn't let it happen again. And so this is all in your 8th house in Libra. So again, bringing justice forward. Your Mars connected to Sagittarius in conjunction with Galactic Center. So this is such an amazing chart. It's telling me that you not only are from beyond the galaxy, and you're a master soul and a galactic navigator and an extraordinary human and a soul who is calm to bring the wisdom and the memory and to hold the codes for humanity, but also you have this ability to spearhead something that is coming from Galactic Center, which used to be known as the black hole, but now we know it's not a black hole. And we also know that in ancient times, Galactic Center was known as the central sun, the great central sun. So you're bringing information from a place of great wisdom that has to do with, it's a bit like if there was, I don't even know the terms of an army ranking, but whatever the army rank, that would be the one in charge. That would be the resonance for your soul. Like you know your worth, your capability, your strength, and you have all of this. Like the vision is to go, with the assistance of the Egaros and the Zene and the Arcturians, coming over here, connecting to your sun. It's just amazing, and with that, although as I'm talking about army and power and strength, it is through the moon as well. So Jupiter and the moon conjunction is not an easy one when it's necessarily in the 8th house, but it's bringing that softness and that feminine way of not war, but peace, not I know best, but let's communicate and find harmony and balance. So amazing deep connections of your soul and mission, agreement to be part of this mission. And of course, the return of that is that you have all of the support to fulfill. And lastly, but very importantly, is your connection here to the sun, which unfortunately I can't add here because astro.com doesn't let me. But there is a very strong alignment to Cetus constellation, and is a star system known as Tau Ceti, and that is conjunct to your sun. So that tells me that you're here. So here's the sun and Cetus conjunction at 0 degrees 37 minutes. Tells me that you are also on a mission to assist the ones that are, I don't know how to say that in a positive way, but if there is negativity, and if there is subversive minds, and if there is service to self, then you are obviously, showing the light to that and bringing forward in just by being and holding the frequency of who you are. The word that keeps coming up is rescue, because the frequency of Cetus is the sea monster, is the the one that is misunderstood and sometimes is portrayed as a whale. And this is the mythology of it, but it's really, they are coming to release the captives, to give the voice to the ones that don't have a voice, and the ones that were perpetrated and on some level abducted, abused by the opposite of evolution. So this is very much, as I said, the whole of your chart tells me that you are, if you weren't doing what you were doing, I think you would be in law, like somehow you would be really like holding the peace somehow. And I feel strongly that on some level, on a galactic level, this is exactly what you do. You have that wisdom, and you keep telling them, okay, here it is, come back to our original intention, which is benevolent, and which is evolution, forward thinking for the future of all sentient beings, as well as Earth and Earth humans on this timeline. So this is also a very, very unique and very strong alignment. And it's also sextiling your vertex, which tells me that this is mission. This is part of your particular timeline, lifetime mission, is to come and release the oppressed, and whichever way that you chose to do that. So thank you again for being here, and for being all that you are.
I'm practically speechless, but I didn't miss the part that it said, I have permission to set things straight, set people straight. So I'll just tell them. Anouk told me that it's my mission to correct this misattunement.
Yes, because you have that, you have it all in front of you. If there was an original matrix where we could go back and say, wait, what did the original manual say, if there was such a thing, then you have that glimpse of the divine dream with Neptune and Arcturus, and Cetus very much coming in as the right now in this incarnation, like let's undo the wrongs. Let's make it so that, as you said, let's navigate Earth in alignment and in balance again.
Because things aren't right here. And when you said that sometimes I'll put myself into a situation surrounded by normal humans, the external world, I just watch it and I think it's too overwhelming to change. So it was so reassuring to say that just by holding my own and knowing what's right, and when it's my turn to speak, if they see me and allow me to speak, that I could hold that truth, and knowing that that could be a little nugget. But I do think more action is required, and by this, hearing this reading, first of all, I said, I gotta drink some coffee. I gotta wake up. I gotta smell the coffee. This is a pretty big template. But I do see the trace through my life. As a little girl, I felt it's not fair that people are starving in another part of the world when I have food on my plate. So I made a little can, food for the starving children in Africa. So you've touched upon the type of feeling being that I am in a sense, and you reassured me that just by being here and holding the vibration can be enough sometimes too, when things don't seem to be breaking through in the ways that you usually think of success. And I know you understand this as well. We show up, we are in service. We're in service. And the fact that you asked me to do this is so important because it shines a light on your gift. It gives me a great gift. And I'm going to ask you, can I gift you? Can I put this reading on my YouTube channel? And it will go out to thousands of people in every different country because I have a wonderful person, a young woman in India, helping me do that. So more people everywhere, and so then you're supported and have the gift of doing your work.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Well, this is a good start to the day. From Egypt, Anouk is in Egypt, and I am here in beautiful Hawaii.
Wow.
And we're doing it. We are galactic babes helping each other be who we're really meant to be for Earth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me be part of your beginning beautiful new business.
Sending you so much love from Luxor, Egypt. And yes, I will put all the details of my website and your website below in the details of this video. And I look forward to what comes. Thank you for being here. Sending you all much love, whoever gets to watch this later. And
mahalo.
We are doing our bit.
Yes, we are.
Yay.
With joy.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.